Hello and welcome back to Switch the Play podcast. No change ups to the lineup after last week's terrific performance. We have Luke Nash, Matt Wilson, and me, Ebraima. So, big news of late. We'll start with transfer news. Jude Bellingham to Dortmund. Thoughts?
It's a big deal. I think he's done really well to get himself a move there, and I think Dortmund is probably the best place for him, really.
Do you think it's too much money for someone of that age, though?
I didn't see the fee, actually. How much was it?
I want to say 35. It's either 35 or 25.
Well,
But it makes him the most expensive teenager ever.
For people,
25 mil.
25.
yeah, I don't know. I think he has got a lot of potential. I don't know.
Because I think there won't be a lot of people that have watched Jude Bellingham or might not even know about him. So I've quickly just got up his stats and his parents, because you can kind of go by what their parents are. So it says here specifically that his dad, Mark Bellingham, was a prolific goal scorer in the non-league football, which I guess could amount to his training from his dad to being a striker now. But his stats specifically, where does he actually play? Is he a striker or
No,
is
he's a
he
midfielder.
midfielder? So he's had overall 43 appearances across all competitions, 4 goals, 3 assists, and had, I think, 2,868 minutes played.
Bad.
Yeah,
he has been a target.
He's played a lot of football.
Yeah. He's been a target for the top clubs for a long time. United started scouting him in 2017. That's how long we've known about him.
Jeez.
Dor-
Like, he's
So
not
that's
even a
20 years ago. He would have been, what, if my maths right, 14?
He might have even been 13 because he's not been 17 for long.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
I think he'll do well.
I do as well. I really hope he does.
Dortmund's the right place to go.
It is, perfectly.
Definitely.
Although I can't help but feel like we should, players like him, he should try and be in big 6 English clubs.
Yeah,
So
this is.
Yeah, I do think.
Yeah,
I think they probably tried, didn't they? But if the money's there at Dortmund, and especially with Sancho going as well, it's probably really attractive for a young English player.
I think Sancho's changed the game, to be honest. Now a lot of young British talents in general are looking abroad at places like Germany.
Yeah,
because obviously Reece Nelson was out there as well, wasn't he?
And he was.
I do think it's good.
What's his name from Chelsea? Ethan Ampadu. He's out there as well at the minute.
Yeah, with Leipzig.
Yeah.
I think personally I think it's got its disadvantages and advantages. I mean, players now have the knowledge that England is not right for everyone and they can have a chance abroad, which is good. However, we don't want to be sat here in about 10 years' time saying the same thing, that players should go to abroad. We want not even the big 6 teams, but teams throughout the Premier League. I think Southampton can be one of the candidates for what Dortmund can do. They produce so many good prospects that have flourished in world football. I think we should look towards what Dortmund are doing, but try and do it in the Premier League better than we have been, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think it was in previous years, because of the size of the Premier League and just the way it attracted top talent, a lot of our players were getting shunned. And now that they've started moving abroad, it's like, okay, the bigger clubs are thinking, let's change it slightly. Let's try and blend more of our young talent in, because they're clearly very good. Like this, we all know this is probably a golden generation of young talent at the minute.
Yeah, I think so.
hopefully we'll get some more players coming through that will choose to stay at these top clubs in England and get their chances that way. Players like Phil Foden, because Phil Foden could have gone abroad a long time ago if he wanted to, but he's stuck with City, and it should pay off.
That's another reason going to my reason into that we should be giving these young prospects chances in football. And Phil Foden is concrete evidence of that, and so is Mason Greenwood as well, and Rashford. There's plenty of them.
This season in general, there's been plenty of them.
Yeah,
like even Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham. They're not teenagers, but they're still. Tammy's 22 and Mason Mount's 21. Like there's enough talent to play in the Premier League. You just need to give them the opportunities.
Yeah, I don't. From looking at his highlights, from looking at Jude's highlights, I don't necessarily think he may be ready for Premier League. If he was already in a Premier League side and just coming through the ranks, I might have swayed to say, yeah, give him a chance. But I think going to Dortmund it's a completely different league to the Premier League. So I think having that chance at Dortmund, that I think they'll give him as much as they did with Sancho and Haaland. I think it's a great opportunity for him.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely. I do think he could have done well in the Prem though, because the thing about the Championship is it's probably just as physically demanding as the Prem.
Yeah.
Where it's just that the Prem has a higher technical quality. So playing that many minutes in the Championship, I don't think it would be an extremely hard transition for him to play for a Premier League team.
Yeah,
especially since he'd be coming in for like little cameos here and there to aid his development.
Yeah. I think looking at his highlights as well, he did, and what I was saying before this, he did hold himself up pretty well. His balance on the ball was okay for someone who's 17 and as a player who's 6 foot in the midfield. He's got good balance, and I think that is what he's going to need, especially to hold him up with his strength. And I think he'll really do well in Dortmund, and hopefully would like to see him on the international stage at some point. Not too early, I don't think, but I mean, even a Premier League appearance, I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted that kind of chance if it was given to him.
Do you think there's a chance of him suffering burnout though, going to?
Yeah, there's always a chance.
I think there's a chance everywhere you go. If he's because he is such a good talent, so they're going to want to play him every game he can play.
Yeah, but I feel like if he was at a big club in the Premier League, much less chance of burnout. Whereas he's already played a ridiculous amount of games for Birmingham, and then he's coming to Dortmund. I think he could start quite a few games for Dortmund next to Witsel.
Yeah, I think that's possible. Because who else is in
they're not
contention with that?
It's Delaney.
It's who? Sorry, Delaney. Yeah, and Emre Can as well.
Yeah, and like you already know, Dortmund are willing to give young players lots of game times with the likes of Giovanni Reina, Jadon Sancho, Pulisic in the past, as well as Ousmane Dembele. Like,
yeah, that's very true. I think he's if he was looking to go somewhere abroad to get game time, which I think he probably was, then I think he's probably done the right thing to go to Dortmund.
Yeah. And they're good. They've got good management of youngsters in terms of development. I just we'll wait and see. In it, it's all very different in Germany the way they play their football.
If we reflect back to the Premier League in terms of changes, because over this strange period of time today, we've got 5 substitutions since the lockdown has been lowered in terms of football. I've been reading that it could be a permanent thing, whereas I'm just looking at a Premier League statement saying for the remainder of the 2019-20 season, the Premier League clubs can now make 5 subs instead of 3, and the maximum number of sub players on the bench has increased from 7 to 9. But this will be the remainder of the season, so this is not going.
It's also
into
next season as well.
It's also next season.
Yeah, for the whole of next season, you'll be able to.
What are we thinking based on that? Because I didn't see a problem with 3 subs in the first place.
I think
Unless-
I think 5 subs is probably a good idea. I personally don't have any arguments against it. I think it probably could be done in a different way, though. I think you should have like up to 5 subs. So I think you should have. I think if you'd made 3 subs and a player gets injured, I think you should be allowed to make a substitution.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I think that was a really good idea.
Oh, so it would be like 3 subs, but if a
That's it.
situation happened,
Yeah,
then you would be allowed to make an extra sub.
Yeah, exactly. But that would go up to 5 rather than your limit of 3. So you can't make your 4th and 5th subs just for tactical changes.
Yeah.
It would be enforced due to injury, so that you've always got 11 players on the pitch.
I don't know. I feel like 5 subs can make the game more interesting, just allowing it in general. Because
yeah. But
the way the game can change by just throwing on a bunch of fresh legs all at once, or slowly throughout the game just replenishing different areas, I think it adds a different tactical dynamic to the whole game.
Yeah, this alone would change a lot of things within football that we know today, specifically in the Premier League. As you said, that the tempo would be higher, there'll be more fresh legs on the pitch. But how would that happen with smaller teams such as, or let's say Southampton, Burnley, them kind of teams, whereas compared to Man City when they've got, another starting 11 on the bench by the looks of things?
Yeah, but that would be the case with, even if they stuck with 5 subs as it is at the minute. I think the game of football in general is moving towards that side of needing to be more of a squad game. Than it used to be, like back in the 70s and 80s when you only had 1 sub, and before that you didn't have any. So I think everyone needs to be looking into making more useful, having some depth to their squad. Really,
I think it's also helpful for young players. I think
definitely
it's a good way to bred in young talent, and say all of a sudden you've run away with a game, chances are you're going to have enough subs to bring on that young player, give him some minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is a very big point, and I think that having 5 subs will help it.
Is this applying for the Champions League as well? So Champions League, there'll be 5 subs.
I don't think so.
So it'll just be the Premier League.
Yeah,
no, I think it's a UEFA decision, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Hang on.
So we have no Ballon d'Or.
It's just the Premier League. It's just the Premier League.
It's just the Premier League. Because the latest news going outside of the Prem is that there's no Ballon d'Or, and I know over Instagram the last couple of days there's been a lot of controversy saying Ronaldo, Messi, they weren't good enough this season to win it, so they've just boycotted it. I don't think it's personally the case.
It's just false, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they are both having incredible seasons.
I mean, look at
Messi
Modric.
just broke the assist record.
Yeah.
In La Liga. Ronaldo's actually got more league goals than Lewandowski now. He just doesn't have more in all competitions.
Ronaldo has broken the most league goals in a Serie A season as well. Well, got to it he's got to 50 goals quicker than anybody else.
Well, I think he's the
Serie A.
first to hit 30 as well in a Serie A season. So I think you're right with the first statement as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So
Check me out.
like
I'm right with my stacks. I
they've-
didn't even mean to be.
So the thing is, I was looking at stats for like, because also I think what people need to remember is it's 2019 as well. So some of the 2020 goals and that don't count. But I was looking at stats for 2019, and Messi and Ronaldo are arguably better than Lewandowski and De Bruyne in terms of face-on stats, like goals and assists.
I think
Like Messi has both more goals and assists than De Bruyne. Ronaldo was joint on goals with Lewandowski, I think, but he had more
Yeah.
assists than Lewandowski.
if we were to talk about it still being on for the remainder of the season, I generally think if Barcelona, I know this probably could be false, but I think it would have contributed to Messi solidifying his was it now if he would win his 7th one,
Yeah.
He'd be
which is
two
amazing
ahead
to
of
even
Ronaldo.
fathom that he could have 7. But I think if Barcelona played better as well, Champions League, we don't. Are they still? They're still in the Champions League, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got Napoli after a 1-1 draw, but they're at the new camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
think.
Napoli are a
Bar-
good side. Napoli have got a good squad,
Oh
and they've
yeah,
got Gattuso as a manager who is, he is a winner.
very good manager. Yeah.
I think had the second leg been at Napoli's ground, then Napoli would have gone through. But I'd back Barca at the new camp.
Mm.
I still think Napoli could go through as a good chance. I mean, Barcelona's performances have not been to the standard that
they've
we're
not been
used to
good
seeing
enough.
them.
I don't think I can actually back Barcelona at the new camp anymore. I don't think I can back them anywhere at the minute.
It comes down to whether you have your like second team outside of the Premier League for us, for instance. You like Barcelona because of their style of football and all this, but
Yeah.
there comes a time where they don't deserve above Napoli, who have worked really hard this season. I'm not disputing what Barcelona have done this season, but the team Barcelona haven't played well, and there comes a time where you think, do they really deserve going into it rather than Napoli?
The thing is though, like they haven't played the Barca that we know, but
They still played okay.
They've still like before the restart, you would have thought, oh yeah, they've got the league down.
Yeah.
Before, even in the groups, they dominated their group in the Champions League. I think they got semi-finals of the Copa del Rey. So if it was any other team, then we're like, oh, they probably deserve some silverware along this.
Yeah.
But
I-
I guess when you're arguably top 3 teams in the world, then there's a different sort of expectation on your
That's
head.
the thing. The thing with Barcelona is that their motto or their slogan, it's all over the club, is what it translates as more than just a club. They are not just a football team that has to win. They have to win playing this set way of football, and it's not been good enough. And they haven't been using academy players. The signings they've been making have been awful. And there's no clear vision with where the club's going. Whenever you look at Barcelona, you always think, in 2-3 years, they probably could win a Champions League again. But there's no vision of that. I don't look at this Barcelona team and don't think they could win the league in the next 2 or 3 years if things don't improve.
I think Barcelona, I have to give credit where credit is due. They are one of the best teams I think I've seen them play with the age that they have. So many of them are coming towards the end of their career, and as well, I think I don't know how it works behind the scenes, but from where I see the team sheets and all that, it feels like they're still hanging on to Barca 2010 with
It
Busquets
does.
still on there, and they're
It
not
does,
making
definitely.
those. They're scared because the players they're going to bring in will never amount. We'll never know, but they'll never amount to Busquets, how he's played in CDM, how Messi's played. I feel like they're scared to get this recruitment in good players because they won't fulfill these players' boots.
It really baffles me though, because they're known for La Masia, and La Masia is not what it used to be, but still the talent that they produce, like they sold that winger. Well, I think they sold Carlos Perez as well.
Yeah.
He's quality. Ricky Piguet, he had a stunning game the other day when they smashed Alaves like 4-5-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the one that gets me is Carlos Alenya. He was tipped to be the next Messi, and he's on loan
really?
at Real Betis.
Jeez.
It's
even
ridiculous.
they've got Ansu Fati's mate, Kubo, out on
Yeah.
loan. Like,
It's stupid.
he's so good.
They're all so good.
But their starting 11 is, I think, as this probably is an unpopular opinion in itself, is a hindrance to the club because they feel like they can perform to the peak of their abilities, which they were doing 5 or so years ago when their physique was probably different, their age was different, they were in a different time period in their careers. They're coming towards the end of it.
Yeah, that whole squad is. You look at that squad; it's similar sort of age to the really good Juventus team that we had a few seasons ago, where you had Buffon and Bazzagli and Chiellini and
Like, now that
Look at
Arthur's
Juve
left,
now, though.
who starts that's under 30?
yeah, exactly. You've got Nelson Semedo,
He
who
doesn't
looks
start,
like he's
does he?
leaving. Sergi Roberto, who probably shouldn't even start. He should be about a squad player.
I mean, he's not young anymore though. He's like 28.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not young,
No.
but they're just under 30. Artur's leaving, and they're replacing him with a 28-year-old.
Really bad.
It is really
recruit.
bad. It's an awful situation, and I saw something the other day that said Xavi would agree to return to Barcelona as manager, provided he has total control of the club. So he won't be going back.
I'd back it.
I'd back him completely. You know, Johan
The
Cruyff
thing is,
said he would be the next great manager, and he's not been wrong yet.
I mean, Messi. One of the reasons Messi was upset was because they promised to bring Xavi back as a manager, and then it sort of all fell apart. They keep promising to bring Neymar back, but they're not going to.
Yeah.
It's just all these failed promises of showing ambition. That literally, they're going to lose their best ever player due to a lack of ambition, and that's just sad.
Yeah. Let's say
Yeah.
Xavi comes into the managerial role at Barcelona. Would you, if he performs well, and let's say they've done the same thing this season, they come second, no silverware, but I can't see Xavi being one of the best managers in the world, like Cruyff said, if he's still got similar players. Because Messi, if you have Messi, Messi has performed with countless managers in Barcelona. He's still been the same Messi that we've been seeing. The stats, they don't lie, the performances.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like where we'll see if Xavi comes into the job, we'll see how classy he is by the the players that he's calling up from the youth, from the youth squads, or maybe the under 20 squads, or all those kind of squads. I think just they need to what I'm saying is they need to let go of this Barcelona team, with Messi in it or not, and bring in the new Barcelona, because they're on the decline. They're still second, which is amazing to say, but that's the standard they're at.
Yeah, and it's not good enough. for Barcelona, and it has never
They-
been good enough, and it never will be
They
good
should
enough.
have won that league without a problem.
They should have done. Absolutely.
That league was theirs to lose.
And they lost it. That's the
It's
hard
just
hitting fact.
They brought in Setien, or however you pronounce his name.
Yeah,
He's
that's right.
supposed to come through with this classy Barcelona style football, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen anything close to it.
No,
Like
it's
they
been far
they
from
get
it.
I've seen a
Everyone
lot
got
of
really
passes,
excited.
but nothing with tempo, nothing going forward.
Yep,
Like
absolutely.
it's like they get to the final third without a plan.
Don't know what's. Yeah, I agree.
They just let Messi do his thing.
Yeah, which you can't do really. He can't do it all on his own. In that style of football.
No.
Especially with the sort of player he is. He's a player that plays off other people.
Yeah, he does. Absolutely.
Like even there's that one solo goal he scores, where Sergio Busquets just lays off him. Just simple like one touch football like
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
stuff that he needs.
That's He's an individual player, but at the same time, he's not. At the end of the day, football is a team game.
It
You
is.
can't put Messi versus 11. As good as he might turn out to be, the 11 will win.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's also why
we-
Aston Villa should go down despite them staying up, because Jack Grealish has done it all on his own.
I know, but I think what needs to happen is I think Villa need to stay up and they need to sell Grealish.
Get hefty money for that,
They'll
and
get a
then
lot of money and they can rebuild a squad. But Watford need to go down.
yeah,
No,
disgraceful.
no.
Yeah,
So Watford, it's shocking that they've sacked 3 managers, but
This is my
They're-
point. They don't deserve to stay up having sacked 3 managers.
if they do stay up,
but
they'll think they can do it
the
again and still stay in the Prem.
ultimately, the players are the ones that perform on the pitch and keep a team up or whatever. So I think it would be an injustice to that squad for them to go down and a squad like Aston Villa stay up.
But that would be the Premier League, though.
Mings. Huh?
That would be the Premier League, though, because that is what the Premier League is.
No, but I'm not saying. I'm saying that the reason they should go down isn't. It shouldn't be because of the 3 managers. It should be because their squad wasn't good enough. But it's just because Arsenal have just bottled it.
How can you say that it's the players' fault? They've just So they've been with this manager. Is it Nigel Pearson?
Yeah.
So they've been with him. They beat Liverpool. They beat Man United. I didn't know much about their form. If anyone can get that up, that'd be good. But their form wasn't great. But they weren't, from my knowledge, they weren't going to go into relegation zone. And if you get a manager that's been sacked, 2 games to go, you really do. You're not going to be like,
2 games left, and they're not even. You know full well that nothing is going to get you through those 2 games.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think it was a good decision. What's probably happened is something's gone on behind the scenes.
I feel like that. Yeah.
There's been like a meeting or something, and probably words are said, and he's ended up being sacked.
We all know Nigel Pearson isn't the most,
irrational of people.
Yeah. Calls people ostriches and punches players.
But in terms of squad quality, Watford are a more Premier League quality squad than Aston Villa.
They are. They are. They do have some quality players, such as Sarr. I've watched him, and against Liverpool, he was, tearing apart the defence. And I think with a good manager, they would do well. But this is the thing: they had an alright manager, and he was sacked.
Mm.
What manager's going to appeal? What is that going to appeal
I
to what manager to join them?
I really struggled to see why he was sacked because he's actually brought them out of the relegation zone.
Yeah,
As you said,
I
behind the
don't get
scenes.
it at all.
But like my friend's a Watford fan, and he doesn't understand it. He believes there's some external reason beyond how the team was performing to why they got sacked, why he got sacked. But like the main thing I'm talking about is in terms of the pure squad quality. Aston Villa will not survive in the Premier League next season. Whereas I would back Watford to survive in the Premier League next season.
Well, I don't know about that.
Did we know
I think
Sheffield were going to survive like they did? It's the beauty of the Prem. We don't know.
There's no way of knowing how they will do at all unless you somehow know who they're going to sign and what their plans are for next season.
Look at Norwich. Start of the season, Pookie Pies was on the party, and now they're in relegation zone.
Yeah, but
exactly.
Realistically, even though they started the season well, I think everyone was pretty sure that they were either gonna scrape survival or they were getting relegated. Because in terms, you can have like your star players like your Buendias and your Pookies, but in the Premier League, if you haven't got some quality throughout the team, you're gonna struggle. And like that's why I think Watford are doing better because they've got a quality keeper in Ben Foster. They've got dangerous wingers in Delafeu and Sarr. They've got a leader up top in Troy Deeney who likes to beg against when it matters most. I think they've got solid midfielders in Doucouré and Etienne Capoue. Like throughout the whole, and even their defense, they've got a lot of experience in that defense. A lot of players who have played a lot of Premier League football. Whereas I look at the Aston Villa team, and I think Jack Grealish, I think John McGinn. That's it.
I think talking
Douglas
about
Luiz as well is a good player.
Yeah, he's all right. He's okay. He's a decent player.
I think if we're gonna talk about managers, Nigel Pearson's fell off the wheel. Ollie's wheels are, don't know. They were being Ferrari
Lampard
were
at the
clamping them
wheel.
back on. Now
Lampard
suddenly,
at the wheel. Imagine saying that.
Mate, Lampard came into the Man United bus, hijacked the car, and painted it blue.
So if we look at the game by stats, we have, so going by shots, Chelsea have 12, Man United have 7. Possession-wise, Man United have 51. Obviously, given that they were on the attack most of the time to try and claw some goals back, and Chelsea had 49. And Chelsea had 18 fouls within that game. 18 fouls. That's interesting.
What, that they committed or that we committed?
That Chelsea committed 18
Chelsea
fouls.
I was going to say, I did. It was a lot. You very much came out with a game plan of Lampard was chatting in the press and said basically, "Oh yeah, they get so many fouls, it's easy," and literally just came out and went, "Kill them all."
I would have done the same.
No, but literally, it was the perfect game plan.
It was.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It's football. It's not boxing.
No, because Maguire couldn't hack the press. Brandon Williams couldn't hack the press. Wan-Bissaka couldn't hack the press.
Brandon Williams really shouldn't be playing because he still had a cut over his eye.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is football, not swimming. And Bruno Fernandes looks like he's taken some swimming lessons at the moment. The way he's been diving, and I'm not saying that he's
I don't think he did in that game.
He did. He did. There's a clip. There's a clip of him diving.
He goes down very easy.
Very late as well. Very late.
Like there's a Kovacic tackle. Kovacic, like he dives in, but he brushes Fernandes. Fernando takes a heavy touch, stumble, fall. And even the commentators
I don't know where that is.
was like, oh, a
I think talking about other players, we've got to talk about De Gea. How many chances is he going to be given?
Well, I think he has to now be given to the end of the season. There's no question. You don't drop a goalkeeper with 2 games left. That's not.
Do you call Dean Henderson up? And if you're getting Champions League football, do you think he's ready for it?
I mean, Dean Henderson has got a lot of clean sheets this season. He's only 2 or 3 behind Nick Pope.
Yeah. It's helped because he's been in a really good Sheffield United side.
But Sheffield United are still outside of Europe, and he's got that many clean sheets. It is impressive.
Yeah, it is very impressive. I think it's a hard one with goalkeepers, how many chances you give them, how many chances in general you give players, but you do forget what De Gea has done in the past for the club, and there's only so much you can think of the past. This is not the past anymore. This is present. This is 2020. De Gea is coming up to his 30s now, I believe. He's 29, 28, 29, 28. And
theoretically, he should still have about 6 years left in him. In him.
But performance-wise, does he have that? He has 6 years left.
Since Portugal, Spain, I don't think he's been good enough.
Ronaldo.
And you saw Kepa get dropped for. He wasn't making like serious mistakes, but he was put in just under par performance, and he had to fight back for his spot. De Gea has never had that, and it's surprises me because you've got a good second keeper in Sergio Romero, and I also think he should have. If he's played every single game in the FA Cup, he should have started. And that was wrong from Ole to drop him, especially when he's performed well. You've conceded 1 goal in the FA Cup.
Matt,
yeah, I agree with that.
Matt, being honest, right? You want to win some silverware. Granted, this isn't your best season. Would you have put on the players that Ole did to try and sacrifice the freshness of what they're going to be playing against West Ham to try and beat Chelsea? Or would you have been like, look, I would rather get Champions League football, wait till we strengthen the squad in pre-season and go out and get silverware next season. So save the players, play against West Ham, do a good job over them and sacrifice the FA Cup.
I'm not sure. I'd rather have lost in the FA Cup, having given them a fight and playing a stronger team, because Chelsea were always going to play that stronger team, weren't they?
Because of previous results. I mean, Leicester lost. They won. They were.
I think he was right to play a strong team. His target when we started at the restart, which I think was very ambitious but still likely, was 3rd, the FA Cup and Europa League. So I think for him to play a strong squad in the semi-final of the FA Cup, having had 3rd taken away from us, I don't have any problem with it at all. I think Chelsea played well, and I think that Chelsea had a very aggressive, very anti-football mentality in a physical sense, and I think
salty.
It's not though, because it's true. You had 18 fouls.
We had 18
That's not how football's played.
No.
If I want to see 18 fouls in a football match, I go down the St Ives Town and watch non-league.
It wasn't anti-football,
because it's disgusting. It's cheating.
It's not.
Let's be real. Let's call it what it is. It's cheating. That's how it is.
First half of the game, we had so much more possession than you. So for a start, that's not anti-football because we were just knocking the ball about being comfortable. We pressed you and forced mistakes. But sometimes a hard press, you dive in a little early. And even in some cases, we had fouls against us, which were very, very soft. Like Giroud was given a few fouls for not doing much when he didn't get any when Maguire had his arms all over him.
Well, I don't know. I think Giroud had a very physical game plan in his head, and
That's how he
if it was
plays
me,
anyway.
if it was
He
me
plays like
refereeing that
every single
game, the way Giroud played in that game, and it wasn't Man United, Giroud would have been booked sooner if he was booked sooner than he was, because it was shocking.
No, he plays like that every single game, backing into the defender, trying to get it on his chest. That's what he does every single game. That Giroud performance was typical Giroud. Giroud. There was nothing different about it.
I have to admit, I always hate coming against Giroud.
Do you know what I think is a bit suspect though? We look at the fouls. Man United have 9 fouls and 1 yellow card. Look at Chelsea's 18 fouls, no yellow cards, none. 18 fouls.
Yeah, but it tells you the nature of the fouls, doesn't it? It tells you the nature of the fouls.
Yeah, petty, little, disgusting fouls. It's not even worth it. Why would you bother?
Tactical fouls deserve yellow cards. They're purposely trying to take down players. That is a yellow card in my book. If they do it once or even twice.
No, I agree with that.
No, but that's the thing. They're not. If you look at the fouls, they were overzealous. You could say, like they were trying to nip in before the player.
It's a stupid foul. It's
no. If a ball's coming into a player's feet and you've tried to reach around and get the ball, it's not petty. It's just you're really eager for the tackle, and you've just not managed to win it.
I think
I go in for those challenges all the time.
They were silly. Well, you're stupid then, aren't you?
In recent times, in recent news, we've obviously had Matt being a Man United fan and obviously dislike Chelsea from that game. We've also got Chelsea coming in with 170k a week wage for Dean Henderson to replace Kepa.
Oh, right on.
I did see that earlier today, and I was wondering, are we actually going in for him? Because I couldn't see Man United selling their best young keeper to a rival.
No, I don't know. I think you'd have to offer a lot of money with the form De Gea has been in.
Exactly. Like Mr. Butterfingers, I can't see him in the job much longer.
Nah, not even Butterfingers. Chris Packet wrists.
Honestly,
but did you Gary Neville pop on man's?
Giroud's goal. If he looks his wrist there, he saved it. It's simple as.
It really isn't good enough anymore from De Gea. And questions need to be asked now.
Do you know what it was? I found it really funny though, because after he lets in the Mason Mount one with his Chris Packet wrist, he then pulls off 2 outstanding saves.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
I know.
How do you go from making 2 non-league level errors to world-class saves? Like,
I mean, only time will tell what happens to De Gea. It's up to the board. Ollie trusts him by the sounds of it.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much you read into that. I think there is definitely. I'm sure he trusts him to an extent, but this is you got to remember. This is how Ferguson was with keepers. Like if you look down the years, we had a goalkeeper called, I'm not sure if you remember him, Massimo Taibi, who signed from Italy to replace Peter Schmeichel.
Oh.
Now, the fact that you haven't heard his name very much
says it all.
Says it all, because he was awful. He was diabolical. And it just wasn't. He wasn't up to standard, and he had some absolute shockers. But Ferguson stuck with him. Ferguson has this record of sticking with a goalkeeper when he's not playing very well, and
he did the same with De Gea, to be honest, early on.
He did. De Gea, if you think about the criticism, I say it about Kepa now. The criticism De Gea got was probably similar, if not worse, to what Kepa was getting, because he had replaced the best goalkeeper Man United had for 10 years in Edwin van der Sar. And he was getting stick non-stop for this.
I think Kepa is literally in the exact same situation because
Yeah, he is.
he must be a similar age to when De Gea first came in.
He's Spanish.
Spanish, replacing Thibaut Courtois, who was one of our best ever keepers next to Petr Cech.
Yeah. It's funny how similar they are, their situations.
Yeah.
But
and now in terms of the Spain squad, Kepa's trying to push out the older world-class keeper, which was Victor Valdez for De Gea.
Yeah, and Casillas.
Yeah, and Casillas, yeah. I can't believe I didn't say. I can't believe I said Victor Valdez and not Casillas.
Victor Valdez. Of all the Spanish goalkeepers, you could have even said Pepe Reina. I mean,
let's move forward to Saturday, 1st of August, which is I can't believe I'm saying this. Arsenal versus Chelsea in the FA Cup final, which I'm not going to be watching it. I dislike both clubs. I would have rather watched Man United and Man City go at it. I can't.
Same. To be honest,
same.
I think most people would.
The thing is, you say
Arsenal
that, but an Arsenal-Chelsea FA Cup final sounds about typical. They've got the two teams with the best record in the competition, and there have been some great FA Cup finals between them.
Yeah, but I just can't. Arsenal this season, right? They had a really good start, and then they just declined. Spurs kind of got some more points in the league, and I was like, we're doing really well. Where are Arsenal? Because I'm seeing them lose all the time. They're literally 2 places below us the whole season, and then they've had suddenly a good run of form with Liverpool, who are still on the piss up. Chelsea in the final, they beat Man City. What is going on? As Arteta's got Pep Guardiola's blueprints in his back pocket.
Do you know what this says to me? That this final is going to be really good because it's 2 young squads that with 2 managers that love the FA Cup, and they will put that on their players that this cup is everything.
Yeah,
I
agree with that.
2 teams will go at it.
I think you could have got the same situation even if Ollie was there because
100%.
Because you had up until the Chelsea United game, you had the 3 managers who could have won the FA Cup were Mikel Arteta, Lampard, and Solskjaer. All 3 of them have won the FA Cup themselves as players.
Yeah,
which I'm not sure is something that has happened before in English football.
And but all 3 are young new managers as well.
Yeah.
Like,
what are our predictions then? What we predicting? I think it's going to be 2-1 Chelsea. I'm never going to say Arsenal are going to win. I can't fathom if they do because they've had such a poor season, yet they have more silverware than Spurs. Don't want to think about it.
I think it will be 3-1 Chelsea with Chelsea getting 2 goals in extra time.
Extra time?
Yeah.
I think you'll break down Arsenal's defence, personally. Their defence can only do so much.
I think it will either be an easy Chelsea win or it will be really tight and Arsenal will snatch it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can see that happening.
I know FA Cup final is obviously a very different occasion, but in all the games, in all the times that we've played Arsenal this season, even when we drew against them, I never particularly felt threatened. I never thought we were gonna lose.
No. I don't think you do with Arsenal at the minute. I think they just kind of shock you and
you're just like, oh, that happened.
Oh, no, they just won actually.
So the fixtures today specifically, we've got Man United West Ham at 6 o'clock, and then Liverpool and Chelsea at 8:15.
Yeah,
2 good, really good fixtures that I'm excited to watch.
Big changes for the Premier League table as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very pleased to find out the other day when Tottenham played Leicester that Man United are 1 goal on goal difference behind Leicester. I think we're level on points now, and we've got a game in hand.
You've got the same goal difference as well.
Even a draw would take us to 4th place. And I read something very interesting. We need if we draw today and draw against Leicester, we go 4th and we're 4th happily. If we beat West Ham and then lose to Leicester on the last game of the season, we're 5th.
Yeah.
So we're better off with 2 draws than 1 win.
That's how amazing football works, isn't it?
It is. It's crazy. It's so tight at the minute.
I know.
It's interesting.
It's really annoying. Chelsea 1 win to secure Champions League football, and our next game is Liverpool.
I really hope you lose that, not because you're my rival, but because
it needs to make it more interesting.
No,
it needs to be more interesting.
If you win, you have a. Of course, you always want to win your games, but Chelsea and Spurs, they don't like each other. And if you're going against Wolves, who are just 1 point ahead of Spurs, I could see Chelsea being like, look, if we've secured Champions League football, do we kind of need to win against Wolves? Can we let them have this game?
No. We the thing is, you've got to remember, Lampard, is a Chelsea fan. He will go to Wolves and be like, we can stop Spurs in European football here. And the players will respond to that as well.
Yeah.
That's the fun.
That's what I don't want to happen. That's why I want you to lose today. Because then you have to win your next game.
Are you playing today as well?
But regardless,
that's so annoying.
If we beat Liverpool or not tonight, we will cut that Wolves game with the idea that we will stop Spurs.
Yeah, I can't. I don't want to watch that game.
So
Spurs play on Sunday.
If Chelsea lose, and United draw or win, United go 3rd.
Yeah.
Yes. Because
you're a point ahead of us.
Goal difference.
Your goal difference is 15.
Do you know what's
funny? For reference, that's 1 goal better than Tottenham's goal difference.
Do you know what's funny? I was reading something today. Chances created and expected goals, we have more than Liverpool. But we've leaked so many goals, and sometimes haven't scored enough when we've been on top that we have a goal difference of 15. That is a joke.
Your goals conceded is shocking. 49 goals conceded.
We're conceding more goals than we're expected to based on the chances that teams are creating.
Yeah.
Just want to point out United still have the 2nd best defence in the league.
But you're 5th.
Oh,
at the minute,
you really want to talk about that after Chelsea's game?
Yeah, well, it ended that was our first loss in 19 matches.
But it was a
loss.
I'll
give you that, yeah. It was just
That's not bad.
But you still lost.
We did still lose. And a lot of cheats that Chelsea are.
I'm just making sure that you know that you lost and you're not going to be in the FA Cup final.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm very aware of that. I wasn't expecting us to win the FA Cup anyway. I was very surprised when we got to the semi-final. My
I'm not going to lie.
personal aim this season has been to qualify for Champions League and to win the Europa League.
Do you know, my expectations for this season was we were going to finish 6th or 7th, around there. We'd have a decent run in the FA Cup, and we'd finish 3rd in our group and have a decent run in the Europa League. That was my expectations for this season. and we're now third. Technically still in the Champions League, but let's be honest, Bayern are going to f off. We've got an FA Cup final to play, and we're looking good.
Yeah.
Do we want to venture into our unpopular opinions once again?
Quickly, before we go into that, quick score predictions from everyone. We'll start with Man U, West Ham.
Man U, West Ham. I think it will be, as much as I want to see West Ham win, I think Man United will get the lead and run with it to 3-1.
Okay, Matt, thoughts?
I don't like predicting the Man United score, so my prediction for the Man United game is I will eat a pepperoni pizza at half time.
Solid prediction, that. Thank you. I think it will be 3-0 Man United.
Ooh! Don't forget, whenever the teams around us drop points and we have the opportunity to capitalise on that, we bottle it every time.
But the thing is, you're setting the pace this time.
No, we're not though, are we really? Because we got a game in hand.
Oh yeah, on Leicester.
So realistically, I don't know. I just don't. I'm worried. I am very nervous. What about the Chelsea-Liverpool game then?
Ooh. I'm gonna say 2-0.
I'm gonna say 3-2 Chelsea.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Liverpool. Because I am hopeful. Don't get me wrong. I'm being very hopeful. But Liverpool lift the title. There's a bit of momentum and something to do.
I'd argue that over the season we've performed the best against Liverpool out of any other side.
I think Watford would disagree.
Well, we beat them in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
We got to penalties in the Super Cup, and we arguably could have won that game. We got a couple goals ruled out for offside, and at the Bridge, we just lost, and Mo Salah scored an absolute banger. Like it was just a moment of magic.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, time stood still. So the unpopular opinions then. What?
I think we start
I think
with
Ebraima has to go first.
No. I think we will end with mine. We'll start with Luke.
Oh. Who do you want to start with?
We'll start with yours, Luke.
Okay, so another one of my unpopular opinions is that Kane is the best striker in the Premier League at this moment in time and will be in the top 5 strikers ever to play in the Premier League when he leaves or retires.
The thing is, it's funny because I actually agree with the second half, but I can't back the first bit.
No, I'm not. You see, I am the other way round. I can kind of agree with the first bit, but disagree with the second bit.
The second.
I think if he moves to a bigger club and starts winning trophies, then he can be considered top 5 strikers ever in the Premier League.
So trophies decide whether he is a top 5 striker or not as an individual player when it's a team game.
I think they have to. I think you look at these players like Alan Shearer. He carried Blackburn to a Premier League title.
So I agree with you, Matt, but only in terms of deciding close ones. So like, if like he ended up scoring like say 5 goals less than Alan Shearer in his Premier League career, then you'd have to give it to Alan Shearer because of trophies. The number of goals Harry Kane has scored is a joke.
Look, I wanna just get my point out there. I've got 3 very prolific strikers in the Premier League. So comparing them to Kane, Kane has got 209 appearances, in the Premier League, 142 goals, 20 assists. Bearing in mind the team he plays for, Spurs, who just haven't had always the good run that they don't really usually have. He's in a transitioning team. Injuries as well. We move over to Sergio Aguero. Granted, he's had injuries. 263 appearances, 180 goals, and 46 assists. Thierry Henry in a really good Arsenal side, the best striker in my opinion. That's graced the Prem. He's got 175 goals, 74 assists in 258 appearances. And to mention strikers, Alan Shearer's got 260 goals, 64 assists in 441. And to just put it into perspective, Harry Kane has got the same goals per match to Aguero and Thierry Henry.
And it'll probably improve on it as well.
He'll improve, yeah.
Yeah.
How old is Harry Kane? 26?
26.
So you could argue he's not even hit his prime.
No, he's not.
Yeah, you could. But I'm not. I still, you can say the stats all you like, but I would quite happily say Shearer is better striker than Harry Kane.
Yes, I'm not saying he is.
You can't debate that.
But
Henry is a better striker. You can't debate that. Right? Yeah, top 5. Shearer is better. Henry is better. Aguero is better in my eyes.
Yeah.
See, I think you've got a debate with Aguero.
Van Nistelrooy. You've got to give me Van Nistelrooy.
Again, I think you've got a debate.
No, you can't have a debate with Van Nistelrooy.
I think Harry Kane's all-round game.
He's such a good striker.
He's got strength.
No, Van Nistelrooy is a better striker than Harry Kane. All right, okay, right. Even take Van Nistelrooy out. All right, fine. Wayne Rooney.
Okay, Rooney better, yeah.
Right, Didier Drogba.
Yeah,
are we talking about just the Premier League?
Yeah,
are we talking about just the Premier League?
You're missing my point, Matt. I'm saying when he leaves or retires, he'll be in the top 5. He's 26. He's still got 5-6 years left.
He's 26. I reckon I can name 15 better than him.
But I'm not talking about the other. Okay, talk about them then. Talk about the others that are in the Prem right now that will be in the top 5, like Kane will.
No, not right now. I don't think there are right now. I think in the future somebody like Marcus Rashford could be.
He won't play.
I don't think Marcus Rashford would be. I think especially since I think he'd be more of a.
He'll be a winger.
He would be more of a winger. Okay, fair enough. Greenwood probably in the future.
I agree with Greenwood, but it also depends on where his career path takes, because I could very much see him go into somewhere like Real Madrid.
Potentially.
Look at how Kane's playing now. He's just come back from injury, and look how many goals he scored under Mourinho. And Paul Merson's like, "Oh, he won't succeed." Well, he's succeeding at the moment.
It was just a lack of fitness. That was all.
Yeah. So let's see where this goes. He's 26. He's still fairly young for a striker, and he's coming back to the top of his game. So it's not like I'm saying he's 30 years old and will be top 5 where he is now. He's got a lot more years, a lot more goals in him, and his passing ability, straying away from his goal scoring ability, his passing ability is brilliant as well. I mean, if he had more pace, I would compare him to Thierry Henry if he was in a better team.
I think there's a debate for Kane for when he turns 30, 32 years old. He could drop deeper like Rooney did.
Yeah,
with his passing ability.
Sometimes he'll pick up the ball around like the centre circle. He'll turn and he'll just ping it to Son, Ali, or Mora, and it's just a perfect ball.
Yeah.
Do you wanna go for yours, Matt?
Yeah, mine is.
Hang on.
I think
I don't think we addressed the first part of Luke's statement enough. Danny Ings is a better striker than Harry Kane at the moment.
At this moment in time, yeah, I'd agree with that.
At this moment in time, he is not the best striker in the Prem.
Okay, look, yeah, I'll give you that one.
I also, at this very moment in time, think Anthony Martial is a better striker than Harry Kane at this precise moment.
I'll come off
Yeah,
of
do
it.
you know what? I'll give you that.
I won't.
He's doing bits at the minute.
At this
always
moment in time, he's
slated
looking
Martial.
dangerous.
I always slated Martial, but when he gets the ball and he's near the box, you actually think he's going to score.
Recently, yeah. For the most of the
At this
time,
moment in time, at this moment in time, this is the point.
Yeah. At this moment in time, yeah.
Yeah. Those
But
were
you
your
can turn that
words.
for any player. At this moment in time, Maguire's a better defender than Van Dijk. I mean,
Yeah, but
I've said that.
you put those words in at this moment. That was your words.
at the moment,
Yeah. So you can't say you
so
can't say but you could say that about anyone when your words were at the moment.
So what I was leaning towards is that I'll give you that, yeah.
I see that as a win.
I'll take the L there. I'll take out that. So my unpopular opinion is that he'll be in the top 5 strikers in the Prem when he retires.
Okay.
Okay. So what we ended up with
disagree.
two yeses and a no. 2 yeses and a no for Luke's.
Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, my unpopular opinion is that Bruno Fernandes is the best Manchester United signing / bargain since Eric Cantona.
I've got a question.
Think Rooney was a worse signing than Bruno Fernandes?
I don't think he was a bargain, and I don't think he had as much influence on a team.
If I'm right in saying, sorry, Matt, if I'm right in saying Bruno Fernandes is 24, 25 at the moment, and he's shown how good he can be, you can say, what about Rooney? What about Ronaldo? Them players were in their team.
They were 16 and they developed.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes has still got a long way to go, but he's still class and he is still dictating the play, and he's changed us completely.
You can say that they were developing, which they were. They turned into even greater players. But they had immediate impacts. Like Wayne, I think Wayne Rooney scored in his debut, didn't he?
Scored a hat-trick in his debut, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. That's a
agree.
huge impact for a teenager.
Yeah. But he wasn't, when you look at Rooney when he joined, it was 2003, 2004.
Man United was good.
United was good.
Bruno came in.
You look at Rooney coming in as a 16-year-old. The question when Rooney came in as a 16-year-old is he gonna his strike partner? The others. Let me get it up. Go on, talk amongst yourselves.
So I do agree because Rooney was good, but we didn't know how good he can be. He had good performances, but he was still so young that we can't predict the future of how good he could have been.
I think that makes him such a much better signing. That you took a risk on a 16-year-old.
He was £25 million in 2004.
That's a lot. That's a
lot
of
money for a 16-year-old.
But would you not say that he's repaid that?
Absolutely. But
if 16-year-old Rooney was about nowadays, he would go for more than Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
Definitely. Rooney's first impact. Rooney's first season that he was there, he was our top goal scorer. He scored 17 goals that season, 11 in the league. But that was a season that we didn't win anything. We finished third. We came runners-up in the FA Cup, reached the semi-final of the League Cup, runners-up in the Community Shield, and round 16 in the Champions League. That, for Man United in 2004, is a diabolical season.
But look at the team he was surrounded in. Look at the role models he had.
Just getting
who's got the same kind of role models in terms of quality, but Bruno Fernandes has come into a declining Man United team, and he has transformed it. He's given a new dimension of play in which Ollie is good with.
Don't forget, you got to remember the players that were there already. So when Rooney signed, you already had Ronaldo, you already had Luis Saha, you already had Ruud van Nistelrooy, who was the best, probably, well, with Henry, the best striker in the league at the time.
So
you had Alan Smith from Leeds
you're
United.
telling me he has outscored one of the best Man United strikers ever in his first season as a 16-year-old?
Yeah, because Van Nistelrooy was injured.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
He didn't play a lot. You had Luis Saha, Van Nistelrooy, who was injured, Alan Smith from Leeds United, who just signed.
Yeah.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was there, but he was injured, and you had Diego Forlan as well. You had a very good squad.
Yeah, but
was already
also
there.
got to
Man
remember, 03-04 is when Arsenal done the unbeatable.
Yeah, it is. That was their season.
So like, it's not like you stood a chance in the Premier League. Let's be honest.
No, but
was
still,
a better team. There
if
was
you
a better
finish-
overall team than you.
Absolutely. Hold my hands and say that, but you can't finish third.
Who finished second?
I'm not sure. I'll have a look.
I
see if
think
can
it
find
was Chelsea, wasn't it?
Was it Mourinho's first season?
I'm pretty sure, and we were very good.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, it was. It was Chelsea.
We were
money.
very good.
Wasn't that the season that you had like billions pumped into your club?
That was the season. That was their first season, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Was that?
We scored?
No, that
60...
wasn't Mourinho's season. That was the season they sacked Ranieri.
You are correct because we won. We won the league with our first season, didn't we?
Yeah.
But even still, I think we just had Abramovich.
Yeah, and I think you probably did you sign Drogba then, or
No,
was it the
that's
season
a
after?
Mourinho signing.
You still would have made good signings. You still were a strong team.
I'm looking at the squad now. So
That's
we had
mad. Though. Think about that. Though.
We had Floyd Hasselbank.
You finished second.
William Gallas.
Yeah.
Paulo Ferreira. We had some quality players. Joe Cole. Lampard was there. Johnson was there.
Yep. It was a good squad.
There. Crespo was there.
But deep it, right? You finished second to one of the best Premier League teams there's ever been. And you sacked your manager.
That is poor. That is so poor.
Mourinho was on the market.
Yeah, absolutely. But there was no need to sack him. The team would have done well, whatever the case. The team would have done well with Ranieri.
Yeah.
Wait, did Mourinho win the league
Ranieri
when he
back.
came to Chelsea after that?
Yeah, his first season. His first season, they won the league with Mourinho, and then the second season as well. Was it the third season he dropped off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 seasons back to back.
It is mad.
You can't say it wasn't a good managerial signing, despite it maybe being unfair on Ranieri.
It was unfair on Ranieri, definitely. It was a good managerial signing, but still, you sacked your manager after finishing second to the invincible team.
And you're complaining about how your Man United did when it was a rejuvenated Chelsea side and one of the best all-time Premier League teams.
Yeah. But we still finished third, and it's not good enough. We didn't win a trophy. We didn't win anything. That was, and still is, and I think Ferguson even admits it, that was the worst season he managed at Man United in the Premier League era.
He must be laughing at what Man United are now.
Yeah, word! You came third, and that's your worst season ever.
In the Premier League, in Fergie's time, yeah. Third was the lowest he finished in the Premier League.
It is.
It's mental when you think about it. Think about the fact that he signed for Man United in 1986. So he had dodgy 6 years. It took him 6 years, and it was really dodgy. And he was getting threatened about sacking every week. And then all of a sudden, something changed. And what changed? We signed Eric Cantona.
So
And he transformed that team from a team that won the European Cup Winners' Cup to a team that won the Premier League.
I still don't understand how Bruno Fernandes can be considered a better signing than
No, I'm not
Cristiano
saying.
Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney.
Oh, right. Yeah, I am saying that. Yeah. He is a... Well...
Like, he's injected life, but he is not the same quality as those two players, and he will, I can guarantee you, he will not have the same impact on that United's team that those two have.
Yeah, yes. You've got to realise that Cantona changed the team himself entirely single-handedly.
yeah.
Rooney and Ronaldo were additions to an already good squad. If there was no Keane, hang on, no. If there was no Keane, or there was no Giggs, or there was no Vidic, or there was no anyone, if Rooney and Ronaldo come into that team now, at the age that they would never have reached the heights they got to.
Cantona is better than Ronaldo as a Chelsea, Man United legend.
Yep, 100%.
I would say you know when United won like 5 Premier Leagues in a row, something ridiculous like that.
Mm-hmm.
You would not have done that without Rooney and Ronaldo.
No, we wouldn't have done. Absolutely.
No,
Rooney and Ronaldo wouldn't have got to the level with such a good squad already there.
But the good squad wouldn't have been there, in my opinion, if Eric Cantona did not come in from.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we're not arguing about whether Cantona was a better signing. We're arguing about Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, no, he's had the influence. The influence he's had. I'm not talking like talent, because that's boring. We talk about talent all the time. That's boring. We're talking influence.
I think, in terms of influence, I think he's had more influence than Rooney because of the Man United side he's in at the moment. And look at the stats as well that he's had. First, bearing in mind he is Portuguese, but now Rooney was English. He could already understand the language and all that. Bruno Fernandes come from a different league, a different country, and going into a different team. And look at the stats he's got. It's like he hasn't even changed leagues. He's still in the Portuguese league doing those stats. It's amazing.
I don't know, because I think you're really underrating the quality in the Man United team.
I think I am.
I think certain players have come into really good form at the same time, and that has obviously helped his stats. Yeah, and he probably has something to do with it. But you have Paul Pogba, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial. Like, you've got arguably one of the best. I know he's had a poor season, but still, De Gea is a world-class keeper.
Yeah.
You've got an £80 million centre back who, like, despite all his criticisms, has been good.
Like, he has been so solid for us. There's no question about it.
It's not a United team that's going to finish 10th, is it?
No, it's not at all. But if you look at how we were playing before, even when you've got all of these players back and all of them were in decent form, there was nothing at all. Having Bruno Fernandes has changed that team completely.
I think United this season have been inconsistent because I think it was the very start of the season. Yeah, you were scoring goals for fun as well.
I agree with this. But the only time we've got some consistency is this past 19 games before the Chelsea game. The past 19 games, and they were all. I'm not sure all. I think maybe one or two before. During the period that Bruno Fernandes joined.
Yeah, he gave a different dimension. He was the player that was
He's unlocked everybody else.
Of Paul Pogba, that them two needed each other to succeed.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree. Let's go with it. So Luke agrees. I agree. Ebraima disagrees.
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay.
not. I don't disagree that he's not up there with one of your best signings. I just think some of the players that you've brought in previous years are just so good and have left a legacy at United that he can't be considered better than.
Okay. I disagree. We're going to move on.
Okay.
Ebraima, what's your unpopular opinion?
Drum roll,
Oh.
please. Messi performed better internationally than Cristiano Ronaldo.
See, right.
So I hear laughs.
I might take a long segment here. I love both players, more Ronaldo, but I've looked at their stats and I'm weighing out the pros and cons. So Ronaldo, 164 games
this
in
goes
total.
beyond stats. This goes
But
beyond stats.
I'm laying out all the cards, so everyone watching this time knows everything. So 164 games, 99 goals, 40 assists. Messi has 138 games, 70 goals, 48 assists. Looking at that, you could probably say overall, Messi probably seemingly is better. And most of the goals and stuff Ronaldo gets usually comes across the teams that are not as competitive, like Spain, although he got a hat-trick. You have Lithuania and all those countries. What do you expect him to do? He's still going to play his best. And I think Ronaldo is way more of a leader. When they rely on Ronaldo, but Portugal have a good team as well, a better team than Argentina, in my opinion. But when they rely on Ronaldo, Ronaldo is there. He has a backbone of playing good and wants the pressure. Whereas I think Messi isn't that kind of player. And I think Ronaldo strives for that, which is why he performs better on the international stage than Messi.
Okay, so I would lay down my argument. This starts not at their first professional, but we start from the youth. So,
Yeah.
when
Are we
Messi
really
first...
talking about youth internationals? No.
Oh, no, but this is just a foundation.
All right. Okay.
So when Messi first played for Argentina under-20s, it was in the South American Youth Championship. He started the first game on the bench. They lost. And then someone said to the coach, "You have to start this kid. He is our best player." He then proceeds to dominate the tournament and basically single-handedly win them the tournament, winning the golden ball before the final was even played. And he also got the golden shoe.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind he didn't play the first game. And then he also has a Premier League, an Olympic gold medal, which again came from him leading the team and carrying it. And there are people in that Olympic team that are world-class talents in the likes of Sergio Aguero and Di Maria. Now, I think we go on to... We'll talk about Copa Americas. I think
Messi has won more than Ronaldo.
Yeah.
That's
Funny,
not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that he's led them to, I believe it's 3 Copa America finals, and the differences. Huh?
How many's he won?
I don't think he has one.
Oh, come on, man. How could you use that? How could you use that?
Because what I'm about to say is Portugal's. Okay, so the 2 trophies Ronaldo's won, Euro and UEFA Nations League.
Yeah.
The Euro, Portugal did not win a single game in 90 minutes. And the final, Ronaldo didn't even play. He didn't even play.
He got injured.
How can... Okay, he got
Yeah,
injured,
but he was fit enough to run up and down on the touchline.
Sorry.
And I'm sorry, but he didn't have a significant impact on that tournament.
A great team.
He
a really well-coached team. Ronaldo just...
he did
Ronaldo
not have
was part of
he
that.
did not have a significant impact on that team. You could probably even argue he shouldn't have even got a medal.
I'll come off of it.
And then the
bad,
UEFA
as
Nations
bad as it
League,
sounds.
he had a good
Yeah.
semi-final. Apart from that, Bernardo Silva carried that Portuguese team, and he rightfully won the best player of the tournament. So his 2 international successes was not the best player for Portugal, and he has no individual trophies on the international stage. Whereas Lionel Messi has a golden ball in a World Cup, and he would have a World Cup if it wasn't for you can't lay players multiple golden opportunities and they not put it away. Like Higuain is the only reason Messi does not have a World Cup.
Well, and Mario Götze.
Well,
If you want to speak technically.
Well, technically, yes. Like until Ronaldo is the best player at an international tournament, I struggle. You
make a very good point.
You do make a good point,
even in the
Copa
America, bottle jobs, other players being absolute bottle jobs is the only reason he doesn't have more than one Copa America. There was a point he got injured. Argentina weren't even looking like they were going to qualify for the World Cup. He steps back in and leads the team to World Cup qualification. Sounds like a leader to me. Sounds like he turns up when his country needs him.
It's a very interesting point.
It's an interesting point, but you're talking more individually, and I get that, but obviously I
didn't say how their countries performed. I said how the individual performed.
He's better. Yeah, I can see where you come from in terms of he's better on an international stage as if that's what you're saying, as an individual player. But when Ronaldo's, if I'm right in saying has he won more silverware with Portugal than Messi has with Argentina, or has he won more?
Ronaldo's won more because Ronaldo's got 2. He's got none.
Yeah.
But deep it, the 2 best players in the world for a very long time, neither of them had international silverware till 2016? 4 years ago. Past their prime. Clearly, the individual performances isn't what's going to get them international trophies. You can't blame
they need a good
one
team.
of them. You can't blame either one of them for not winning international trophies. So the trophies excuse that makes Ronaldo better on the international stage does not fly with me.
I think it runs deeper than them just playing on the field and how good both can be. I think if you have Messi or Ronaldo on your team in a national team, your confidence levels, in my opinion, wouldn't they naturally go up? That you have a more of incentive, you have more a cushion that you are going to do well. You have this player, although you may rely on him, you're still going to play really well. And I think,
but that's the thing. Argentina didn't do that. What Argentina did is they put all the blame, they put everything on Messi. They would not look for their other teammates. Everyone would pass the ball to Messi. No, that doesn't work. Whereas Portugal would actually play as if there were other players on the team.
But that's not Ronaldo's fault. That is how Portugal are coached.
I'm not saying it's Ronaldo's fault.
That's not Messi's fault either. How is that Messi's fault?
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying
it's my exact point. That he's performed so well on that international stage that Argentina has declined because they have no confidence in themselves to play other football. They're just like, give it to the best player in the world.
I'll put it this way. you can. I feel Messi, an unbelievable player, especially for what you're saying for his country is very valid. But to put it simply, I think Ronaldo plays better with his team and how they're willing to play with him as well, which creates more of a better outcome, which creates silverware for that national club. Whereas Argentina are not willing to play for the team; they're willing to just play it for Messi, to play it
Then
to
why
Messi.
did it? Then
They're
why
relying
did
on
it
him.
take till 2016 for them to win something? Because
I mean, Ronaldo
he
was a total. Would you say Messi? Messi has been a. Would you say he's been a playmaker for the majority of his career?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Right. Ronaldo was a winger up until God knows when. He still plays winger, but he's
Okay,
more
so
of a
no,
striker
but
now.
you say that, but Messi, as much as Messi's a playmaker, when he first started with Argentina, he was just cutting in from the right like a winger. He was playing like a right winger.
Yeah.
Like he didn't always have a free role. And you've also got to remember, Ronaldo has had more years to get a trophy. Messi didn't make his debut till 2005, whereas Ronaldo competed in the Euros in 2003.
So there's two years difference in between of them playing. I mean, when they won the trophies, there was completely different teams. If Ronaldo won a trophy even before Messi was playing national, I think I would agree with that. But 2016, you said they won their first trophy. That's over a decade. When Messi's had, I mean, I'm not saying it's his fault, but Messi's had what, over 6 years? Is it? Yeah, over
No,
6 years. That was over a decade. There's a different squad that they're playing with.
yes, but their 2016 trophy, Ronaldo did nothing. He had no impact.
No.
Whereas when Argentina have been extremely close to winning trophies, Messi has played out of his skin and carried them. I haven't seen the same with Ronaldo. And the Nations League and the Euros prove it. That whereas Argentina can't win without Messi, Portugal can.
Yeah.
This goes back to my point. Although it's not his performances, it runs deeper to the player being on the pitch with them.
But my opinion is about performance.
Mm.
I use the
I
word
get that.
perform.
I do get that, but I still would disagree. I still think Ronaldo. Although I'm not saying it's Messi's fault that their team doesn't work together, but I think Ronaldo works perfectly and is a greater asset to to a team that is already well drilled, to Argentina, who look like they just simply rely on Messi, and
So
Messi has to pick up the pieces.
in relation to my
So,
opinion, it doesn't sound like you think Ronaldo performed better on an international stage. It sounds to me like you say Ronaldo performs really well, but he's also more
Yeah.
suited to his team. So it
I think
sounds like you agree with my opinion.
Individually, Messi performs better, but Ronaldo plays better with the team than Messi does.
Unpopular opinion, popular opinion. And you all laughed at me.
no, yeah. Yeah, all right.
I'm taking the dub on that one.
Yeah, I think you do.
Right, so thank you for listening to the Switch to Play podcast. I am clearly the greatest debater of all time, and we will see you for episode 4.